Good afternoon. My name is Jeff. This is my horse Finn. And guest, the little yearling stud colt Caesar's in the back. He's gonna provide a little bit of extra distraction for Finn. That way you can kind of see when he does get distracted how I bring him back to me and the attention. So I'm doing an experiment with him. He's a 10-year-old Arab gelding. Bring him back to me and the attention. So I'm doing an experiment with him. He's a 10-year-old Arab gelding that I picked up 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to video the whole entire training process from start to finish, unedited, uncut, so you could see what training a horse really looks like, whether it's problems, whether it's something that I did, whether that's something he does. Horse training isn't an easy, straightforward thing. There are always twists and turns and dive backs and repetition and comebacks and all the different things that we don't get to see if you don't do it every single day. So I thought this would be an informative, instructive thing that I wanted to try out. So what we're going to do today is we're going to continue the process that I started yesterday with preparing for the first ride. Now, don't just get your horse on, like when I'm going to do with them, don't just do it right away. There are 7 other training videos that have led up to this point that I've posted. Learning how to yield, learning how to guide and drive, learning how to see me up top and above him, desensitizing, everything that I'm doing today, those things were worked and are continuing to be worked within this method. Like I explained yesterday, I don't know, those things were worked and are continuing to be worked within this method. Like I explained yesterday, I don't know if this is something that other people have done because I haven't seen them do it, but I experimented with a 5-year-old Arab stud that I had a few years ago, that no matter how many horses you train, that first time swinging a leg is always going to get my heart up. So I started thinking about different things that I could do to get them comfortable and used to me being up above them, swinging a leg, feeling weight before I actually had to sit down in the saddle, before I was actually in the zone where if he bucked, if he ran off, if he ducked out from under me, if he flipped over, then I already mitigated those problems. Because I don't train like I used to. When I was 12 years old to 18, I'd ride them out. I did the whole buckaroo type thing because I was a good rider. Now I'm getting older and I don't like hitting the ground. I would rather them do a really good solid foundation first. So this is one of the things that I don't like hitting the ground. I would rather them do a really good solid foundation first. So this is one of the things that I've started doing with horses to kind of prepare them for that first ride. My personal opinion, take what you can from, learn what you can from. So we're going to get his attention off of Caesar real quick. So I'm going to swing that rope. I don't go to my horses, they come to me. So I get his head, hind end turned, facing me. Then I take steps back. I want to create that connection. You got stuck behind the tub. There we go. Keep doing it until I get that result. Good. Oh boy. Now I said that I don't meet him, I don't go to him, but I'll meet him halfway here because he's turning and facing really nice. There we go. Good boy. Let's flip the lead rope over first. That way I have control of his neck in case he decides to do something. Grab up over his pole. Make him put the head in the halter. Make sure my halter's nice and snug up on his nose. I don't like a whole lot of space. Lose too much connection that way. Okay. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of yielding to him just to get his mind focused on me and away from Caesar. Now I'm just trying to get his hind end moved around. He stepped forward and that's not what I want. So I can snap to him, still stepping forward, not what I'm asking for. Use the lead rope if that's not working. There. No, still stepping forward. Good. I step back let him think about that. That's what I'm asking him to do, and he needs to realize that. Separate the hindquarter yield and the step forward. There we go. Good boy. Good. Okay. We'll get right into this, and then we'll do a little bit of desensitizing and saddle work after I'm done. So I'm going to stand up on the box. Like I said, he's already started the process of guiding and yielding. So I'm just going to get his mind and body moving where I want him to move. Guiding him around me here. Make him stop, turn and face. Yep, I don't like him on top of me like that, so I'll back him up. One step's okay at first. There. Turn his front shoulders over and drive his back in. And make him face. Boy. What this is doing is it's getting him used to me being up high. It's getting him used to seeing me in this vulnerable area. A lot of horses will buck, rear up, bolt, flip over, because they're not used to and comfortable with you here yet. The preparation, the groundwork, the foundations weren't done enough to kind of get them to be comfortable. Now, granted, every single horse has the potential and ability to buck, to run off, to bolt, to flip over. And it does happen sometimes regardless of how much groundwork you've done. Some horses just have that in them. Okay, and that's something that's worked out, not by just riding them out, but by continuing the groundwork. But this way has proved really well to get them comfortable with these different scenarios, seeing me up high. I'm not asking him to move, so I'll wait until he stops and then I'll take the pressure off. Petting him, making sure he feels comfortable up here. All these things are things he's going to see when I get on him as a saddle. And I don't want the first time for him to see these things when I have to swing that leg. Because once you swing a leg, you're committed. Okay, change directions. Move him back, move his hind end around first. Good. Move his front shoulders over. Good. Get him to move. And whoa. Boy. Well, he sees me on this side too. Push his neck. Put that rope around a little bit. Get him comfortable. Okay. Make him turn and face. Not turning facing today. So this is kind of really good. He's usually pretty attention oriented to me, but today he's wanting to see Caesar. Like I said, it's not a bad thing. He just has to learn how to focus more, and I have to learn how to get his attention. There. Good boy. So I'm going to move this bucket over to the alleyway. Good boy. So I'm going to move this bucket over to the alleyway and start demonstrating the steps for that first. Now yesterday my alleyway was a lot wider at first. I don't need to start it that wide today because he's already been exposed to it. He wasn't too skittish. He wasn't afraid of what I was doing. So I feel comfortable that he's going to be okay today. Now I could be completely wrong and he could throw a fit, and we'll guide and we'll go from there. Make sure we can make the corrections that need to be made. What I'm going to do, move his front shoulders over. There you go. One step. Move his hind end. There. Okay. Then move him through the alley. Saddle. Whether it's whoa, whether it's stop, usually whoa. Clicking to get him to move out. Those are things that I'm going to start doing. He's going to start feeling that pressure here for the stop. Clicking to get him to move out. Those are things that I'm going to start doing. He's going to start feeling that pressure here for the stop. So I'm patting him all over. Let him think about it for a second. I'm done asking for that. I don't want my horses just to move without me telling him to first. So he'll pop right back in and stand still. This right now, his place place of comfort because he gets to rest. Horses, like people, most of the time are naturally lazy. They want to just sit and rest and relax. They don't want to keep moving around and working. So I'm making this easy and comfortable for him. And if he moves out, then he has to keep going around in circles until he stops. But anyway, so here I'm going to start to move my foot around, bump his back, sip over here, sees me on that offside, bump him in the flank, bump him in the cinch, then move him back out, turn him in face. Good. Let him think. The break, the thought process is very important to have to do. You're constantly working your horses without that time to sit and think, especially I've found with the Arab breed. Arabs are such mental animals, like their minds are always working, they're super intelligent. So I like to give them jobs to do and then let them stop and think about that job and process it. I don't buy into the whole high strungness, and then let them stop and think about that job and process it. I don't buy into the whole high strungness because if you train them high strung, they're going to be. Some horses are just more so than others, but in the whole, I like doing this method and it keeps them real calm and collected. Move them back over to the other side. Shoulder, front shoulder first. Good. Stop. Back end. Square it up. Oh, he's starting to anticipate now. Square it up. Oh, he's starting to anticipate now. Let him figure it out. On this side, I'm going to start rubbing him, bumping him with my foot. Let him figure it out. On this side, I'm going to start rubbing him, bumping him with my foot, so he sees me starting to move like that, like I would getting in a saddle. Bring him out. Turn him in face. Good boy. Okay, he's doing pretty good, standing still relatively well. So I'm going to start jumping into the next step. Bring his front shoulder over, bring his hind end around, move him straight through. Oh! Now from here, this is where I like this drill, is because I can be up high and out of danger. I can start to swing that leg and he can see that without me having to do all the saddle work first off. So from here, I'll swing my leg, I won't put any weight on him, I won't really even touch him, I'll just let him see this. If he were to do something like bolt out from under me, I am safe, he just comes right out, and I turn him in face again. Get out, and move him. Turn him face. Now obviously I need to do a lot more work with him yielding his hindquarters. He's still a little bit sticky, but this is working that at the same time as if I was on the ground. But I just want to stress again, make sure that he's yielding comfortably to you and guiding and driving where you feel comfortable that he's doing it, where you can feel like if something happened, you could get him out of the situation. Don't just start up here. Make sure he understands first, because we're not only doing all the guiding, yielding, all those things, but we're also expecting him not to be jittery or uncomfortable with us up high. So work those steps up. Like I said, there's 7 other videos that I've gotten to this point where he feels more comfortable with me up here. Every morning when I feed him, I also sit on the panels above the hay, and he just gets comfortable seeing me there and me just sitting with him. I spend a lot of time with my horses, the panels above the hay, and he just gets comfortable seeing me there and me just sitting with him. I spend a lot of time with my horses passively training them. I don't always have to be actively doing something. A lot of times I'll just come in here in the morning, especially if it's their day off, and just sit with them for an hour, just be with them. I want them to feel comfortable with me as their herd leader. That's why I keep them in here by themselves. Caesar's off over there so he can still see them, but he runs down the hill, and sometimes Finn gets upset, and I'll come down and sit with him and comfort him. Just building that bond. Okay, moving back over here. Front end, hind end. Whoa. Stopped a little late. Keep going then. Whoa. Still doesn't like this side over here. So I'll keep working. Still doesn't like this side over here. So I'll keep working him. Put a little weight on my knee so we can feel and see that. Bump him with my foot. Okay. Swing my leg. If he steps out, I can just bring my leg down. Turn and face. Turn and face. Want one more step. There. No. See, he starts to anticipate. Back. Whoa. Boy. This is where I can get. I'm going to swing and actually be in that position. Now I'm just touching him. I don't actually have any weight on him. But that'll start to transition to being able to move up and down, sit, stand up, sit, stand up. Swing my leg off again, brush him. I didn't want him to move, so he keeps coming back around. He doesn't get a rest until he's standing still. Whoa. Boy. Do it again. Bump him with my leg, coming over so he gets used to doing stuff like that. Bring my foot down and sit. This is also a great starter for teaching him how to go bareback too. Now I still don't have any weight on him. I'm just touching him with my legs. Right now I'm squeezing him with my thighs. He didn't like that. That's okay, so I let off. Bring my legs back in, squeeze it in, let off. This was good. I didn't know that he didn't want me to squeeze, so testing these different waters out in a safe way, I'm able to see what he wants to tolerate and what he doesn't want to tolerate. The things he doesn't want to tolerate, I keep drilling and working step by step until he does tolerate them and start not to be bothered by them. Okay. Step off, come out, turn and face. Still not turning and facing as well as I would like. Still taking too many steps. But at this point, because he did really well with me swinging a leg and putting that pressure, I'm just going to sit down and give him a full relief. This gives him time to just to sit with me. I don't have to pet him. I can just sit. So it gives a good time to be able to play with his legs. Work different things like that. Scratch him under the belly. They're all things getting him used to my touch and my tack's touch. Okay. Bring him back the other way. I'm still not pleased with this side yet, so I'm going to keep working these steps until I get what I'm wanting to do. Come around. And whoa. Still not wet, stating. Whoa. There. Good boy. Let him sit. Relax for a bit. Like I said, this is his comfort zone now. This is where I want him to feel comfortable. I hate it when you go to get on a horse and they walk out. One of the worst habits in my opinion. There. See, he's kind of just meandering today, getting a little lazy. So we're going to bring him back. Not what I'm asking. We'll bring him back through. There. Now bring him back. He's trying to anticipate what I want rather than what I'm asking for. So he'll just keep walking around here. Oh. Okay, keep going. Whoa. Good boy. Do that again. Whoa. That was lighter. That was a lot better. See? No, not what I'm asking for. There shouldn't be every time I move, he thinks that he needs to step. Oh. Till I give him the cue. Whoa. So like I was saying in the beginning, a lot of times we have to back up and redo some stuff to establish a stronger foundation. He's not ready on this side for me to move around all the time, swinging my legs and all that stuff. So I'm gonna keep working him this, standing still, being comfortable here until he moves out when I ask for it. I'm not gonna move on if I'm not getting the result that I want. That's just how you create bad habits because the horse is now getting away. Oh, better. Getting away with doing what they want, anticipating your commands, whatever you want to call it. Takes a minute or a week, but you have to be willing to put the work in to get it done. That was pretty good. So I'll give him a break on this side. Good. Front shoulder, hind end, and whoa. As I was saying before, this is also really good for block training if you have trouble getting on and off. Good steps to teach your horse for that. Okay, swing a leg. Now I might sometimes bump the panel, create that extra movement and noise. Everything is desensitizing and training for outside on the trail, in the arena, however you ride. Make sure that you're doing the things that you're going to encounter on those days. Nope. That's the example of if he moves out, I'm still safe and I can just get out of the way. Oh. Good boy. Still not putting weight on him, just touching him. Rubbing his shoulders, rubbing his head, making sure he sees me moving around up here. Cupping his butt. Sometimes flipping the rope around there. Okay, swing off. Bump him. Tap. There isn't a set method to this. Just building on steps. Out and circle. Okay, do it again. He's not turning and yielding how I want. Now I have to wake him up now. There. Good. I don't typically like to do that, but he's not paying attention to me at the moment. Which these are the things that I wanted to see for you to see, because this might happen. Oh, bumped him on the butt, didn't want that. Oh. There. In this case, I'm actually going to come down because I don't like what he's doing right now. This is creating a bad habit that I don't want to see. So I'm going to put him back into circles, working him. Oh, there. Step. Step. Good. Boy. Give him the shoulders over. Put him back in a circle. I didn't call for a stop, so he's going to keep moving. He doesn't dictate when he stops, I do. Oh. Good. This is all about respect. I was actually kind of hoping bringing Caesar over here would kind of do this to him, because he still needs to learn that when I come into a pen or I halter him or I'm asking him to do something, regardless of distractions, situations, a rabbit running underneath his feet, a dog running up and biting him, any of those number things, he still needs to be able to, okay, I'm going to give him that time to react, that's fine. But as long as he doesn't overdo it or explode, and I can come back down, get his mind and his body and his feet working for me again, this is all teaching those things. Not every environment's perfect. Horse training isn't for me again. This is all teaching those things. Not every environment's perfect. Horse training isn't either. Yep, move his shoulders over. Get him moving out. Watch out, kitty. We got our barn kitty today to help us too. I want to see his head and that inside eye at least come in focusing on me. Right now I'm focused on the cat and the horse. Oh. Better. Sometimes your training plan doesn't go according to plan. You have to make adjustments. You're going to get stepped on. Move. Come on. I don't need your help today. Watch out. No, I didn't ask to turn and face. Oh. There we go. That's better. Okay, I'm going to give him a little less break in between now. Step over, move him back over. Just getting his mind and his feet back on me. Step forward, back, move him through. Oh, good boy. Okay, go back to the bucket. Only do this just for a little bit longer, then we'll saddle him up, have him stand with that for a bit. Oh, good boy. Sometimes if they're not paying attention to you like you would, I might have to do that 2 or 3 more times just to get his mind and his body focused back on me. And whatever it takes, it takes. There, standing still a lot better. Good boy. Step off, brush him out, move him up. Move out. There, that's turning and facing way better. At times it just takes a little bit more work and backing up. Oh, bring it back through. Oh. Oh boy. And guide him out. Turn and face. Turn and face. All the way. Finish. Good. Grab this tub. Move it out of the way. Grab the camera. Since I have it mounted on my saddle right now. There. Now, like I've prefaced in the other videos, this is not the equipment I ride with. This is just a training blanket and a training saddle. I like this blanket because it's stiff, pretty lightweight, easy to handle. It's got holes in the top so I can hold on to it. Sure, I get my lead rope about, I don't know, a foot or two. So that way if he starts to turn that outside ear and wants to duck out, I can bring his head around. We've already done the bending and yielding, so he understands that. Okay. Brush the blanket around him. Bump him with it here on the sides. Stand back, let him breathe. Sorry, little kitty, I don't want you to get stepped on. We have a very attention-seeking barn cat. But I don't mind all these distractions, because you're going to get them everywhere else. Okay. Throw the blanket on. Let him wear it. Let him wear it. Let him relax. Toss it on. Let him wear it. For right now, because I'm not cinching him hard and fast, I'm not getting ready to get on him yet. When I put on the little training saddle, I usually do it without the blanket, because it's easier for me to maneuver. If he does duck out, I can still keep a hold of it without having to worry about the blanket or the pad and the saddle. So I don't ride without a pad or a saddle blanket. But here's my little training saddle. Only weighs about 10 pounds, so I can get a good hold on it if anything happens. Like I said in other videos, never let your saddle hit the ground when you're first starting a horse. They start to equate that stepping out, moving, to that release that they're getting, and I don't want that. I want the only release is when I take it off. Okay? So I bump them with the stirrups. You gotta move out of the way, cat. But I want the only release is when I take it off. Okay? So I bump them with the stirrups. You gotta move out of the way, cat. Bump him with the stirrups. See him up here. See the different things moving. Then when I go to saddle him, I just throw it on. I don't sneak up there. I don't make it some big deal. Just walk up, throw the saddle on, and hold it there. If he starts to move out, I still got a good hold. It's a light, easy saddle for me to maneuver. And I just bring his head around and flex him. He's doing pretty good, so I don't have to worry about that, but that's the case. Take it off. See the other side. See it up over here on this side, flopping around, flipping the cinch up and down, making some noise, bumping him with it. These are all things desensitizing. You don't have to have a paper bag or a plastic bag or a tarp to get your desensitizing in. Those are just lead ups to help. I still do that, and I do it a lot. I start making it where it's bigger bags, more noise, longer durations. But right now, built the steps for what I'm doing at the moment. Let him wear it. Right now, I'm watching his ears and I'm watching his eyes. A lot of times you can see if a horse is going to... Let him wear it. Right now, I'm watching his ears and I'm watching his eyes. A lot of times you can see if a horse is going to react by that flicker outside, or those eyes start to get really tense and stiff. His mouth starts getting stiff. Right now he's fairly calm, so I feel comfortable with just leaving that saddle there for him just to feel it. Take it off. Moving to this side so you can see it. Okay, we're getting in that yielding work still. One more step. Okay. Now we're going to cinch him up. When I cinch horses, when it's especially learning the first time that I'm not planning on getting on them, I don't cinch my horses up tight. Even my broke horses, I cinch it up just where it's snug, that if they shook, they're not going to lose the saddle. This also creates uptight every single time. If you're jerking up on the latigos, just where you're cutting air in half, that's when you're going to start getting those cinchy horses, because that now isn't a positive experience for them. But if you pull the cinch through, everything's nice and easy. Cinch it just enough to hold, then they get comfortable with that. Me holding this latigo too, if he does decide to do something because he's not comfortable with it, I still have that saddle. He's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay on him. Okay, a little bit more just so I can get my 4 through. When I'm first training, I always tie a four knot, because I don't have to go tight or loose to get to one of those holes. The 4 knot goes up through the D-ring, across the latigo, that's where it creates the 4, up through the bottom of the D-ring, a little bit more, and then back down through your loop. It's a very secure, very snug knot, and I don't have to use my D-ring on the bottom and finding a hole. I can go as tight or as loose as I want. Right now I like to about that much where I can stick my fingers in. That's not cutting him off. And if I did choose to get on and you have good balance, you're not going to pull the cinch over. I don't like riding with a heavy tight cinch unless I'm roping something. If you choose to get on and you have good balance, you're not going to pull the cinch over. I don't like riding with a heavy tight cinch unless I'm roping something. There's no need for it. If you have good balance, good footwork, you'll stay right in your saddle. So now he's just going to kind of wear this for a bit. Just stand there, think about it. Like I said, as a horse, they are a prey animal. They will flee to get away from danger. As humans, we're predators, and we're putting something that's snug down that they can't get rid of, the saddle, us, whatever it is, in their most vulnerable area. That's why you get snug down that they can't get rid of, the saddle, us, whatever it is, in their most vulnerable area. That's why you get horses that buck, they're up, that flip over those first few times. If they're not comfortable, if this groundwork, if this foundation wasn't put into place up onto their most vulnerable part as a predator, and expect them to stand still and not try to buck you off, try to run away, they are just doing what naturally comes to them. Riding a horse isn't natural. I don't care what everybody says, there isn't a natural way. They're not naturally born to be ridden, but we have domesticated them, which is a great thing. I love horses, but we have to understand their nature. They're not naturally born to be ridden, but we have domesticated them, which is a great thing. I love horses, but we have to understand their nature. You do all this work, very, very, very seldom will you get a horse that reacts that first ride, because they've seen and done everything already. Pat on this side, move it around, shake the saddle. I purposely don't have a back cinch or a breast collar on my training saddle. I want this thing to flop. I want it to move around. I want all these different things for them to become comfortable with and used to before I even step foot in that stirrup. Like I said, the ground's hard and I don't like getting thrown off anymore. He stepped out. I don't want that, so he'll move. Step back. Turn and face. Just not quite there today, are you? There you go. See, he wants to do the right thing. Just sometimes he doesn't understand what that is. And that's my job to teach him that. Oh. I'll keep tapping this side a little more. Making that noise. He'll feel vibrations on his back. Step back. Let him rest. He's starting to get to now where he'll step toward me for that comfort. What was that? Do the same thing on the other side. And if he were to start to move like he looks like he wants to when I'm doing this, I'll keep tapping that saddle. There it goes. Until I get that momentum to stop. Running away isn't going to create a relief for him. That's what he's learning right now. There. The second he stopped, I stopped. See in a 3 to 5 minute real video. These are things that have to be experienced and learn how to overcome. Still moving. Things that have to be experienced and learn how to overcome. Still moving. Good. Nice. If I were taught to stop flapping on his saddle when he moved and started to trot out, all I taught him is that when he trots out and moves away, that pressure stops. So while he kept moving, I kept pressure until he stopped. And the second he did, that's where timing comes into play, I stopped it. And he realized that as soon as he stops, the pressure goes away. Good. I don't always have to do it until I get a reaction, but sometimes it's necessary. Let's do just a little bit of footwork and lunging with him with the saddle so he can get comfortable and used to that. Go. Good boy. Move him to the other direction. Oh. Boy. I think that is more than plenty, and he did a great job today. So we'll reward him with being done. tomorrow he gets a much deserved and needed day off, Thanksgiving and all. So I hope you all enjoy your day off tomorrow too. And I am very thankful for all the things that I have. Thank you.